town in Australia, where I did not have access or sufficient support structure to develop or engage in the practices I was interested in. Feeling peripheral to where things were happening made me move to bigger cities. This personal frustration from youth found in technology the tools to offer others in similar position the possibility to integrate and to participate in the development of global culture, thus eradicating the sense of feeling displaced. My focus was put into the study of how to build these bridges. This study explores user experiences and affordances, specifically in the context of telematic dance and network spaces, examining the specific context of user experience that need to be accounted for when designing systems for movement-based interaction. New electronic sensor technologies that capture movement of bodies provide opportunities to redesign the body in space. Much of the research in this area is informed directly by technology itself. In my research, I explore a non-technological, user-centered point of view to explore new criteria for movement-based interaction. I discuss a series of performance-based projects titled Mashup Realities, an online platform for interaction, collaboration, and creativity. The starting point for this project explores people's performance experiences of communication and interaction through bodily movement, to make experience a source of inspiration for the designs. For example, how do dancers collaborate physically to create shared experiences? How can my understanding of dancers' experience inform the design of the system's interface and network spaces? How can this understanding identify processes that support and guide the dancer intuitively? Working with a range of dancers, choreographers, musicians, architects, designers and programmers, a participatory approach, examine how to support performance by developing a more meaningful and richer interactive experience. Sorry about that. Developing a more meaningful and richer interactive experience to extend non-verbal communication and collaboration through the internet. I will describe the process behind the ongoing dance. I will describe the process behind the ongoing dance project Mesh Other Others. This project investigates user experience and affordances in networked interactive environments for dance and methods that can be used to design for rich experience. I aim to identify design criteria which supports the creative process with dancers in interactive environments. Key research questions are: what makes meaningful, rich experience for people choreographing, rehearsing and performing or collaborating within networked interactive systems? What is a rich experience in UX design? The design for and the cultural context of the user experience needs to be accounted for when designing all types of interactive systems, digital or analog. Indeed, they need to be deeply understood in designing a meaningful, rich experience in digitally mediated landscape. The term rich is useful as it helps to describe the forms of interactive models and UX design methodologies to create complex, digitally mediated interactive environments. According to Jody Felici, a rich experience is an interaction with a product which is satisfying, an experience that has a positive and pleasing value for the user, allowing the user to perceive beauty in the product and its use, and which has a sense of immersive continuity and interaction, which may be made up of a series of satisfying experiences. Whilst Felici applies rich experience to product design, the definition of rich experience itself lends itself seamlessly to describe the type of experience afforded to dancers and performers. So who are these users? In the scope of the research, the performer is always the user, player and participant in the operating system. The dancer, understood in the context of interaction design as the user, has a unique set of aspirations. These aspirations are formed and filtered through various cultural contexts and requirements. Through researching existing UX models, methods, I aim not to just clarify the immediate needs, but also interrogate the driving motivations and artistic values of the user, that is the dancer. Making the dancer the focus for UX design aids the development of the system and how it detects, measures and interprets physical movement, and how real-time digital mixing of audio, light, video and computer-generated imagery is controlled by the user. The application of information technology in dance has been described as digital or virtual extensions of the body. Space is one of the main factors that make up the shape of the movement in dance, together with the time and body. Through the creation of hyperspaces, physical and virtual, we can extend the physical parameters in which the artist can perform. Network environments allow for many participants to collaborate and interact over large distances and can be utilised as an extension of physical space. Of relevance in the exploration of embodied experience are the intuitive thought processes behind bodily movement within interactive environments. One way to apprehend these processes, one of the ways to apprehend how these processes map to bodily movement is through flow theory. Flow theory has been used extensively in the study of human-computer interaction as an important means of understanding interactive environments. And in dance, research for gaining insight into the possible facilitating and inhibiting factors that will support flow for dancers. First proposed in 1975, flow experience is defined as a state of concentration so focused that it amounts to absolute absorption in the activity. With relation to dance, flow is believed to be a psychological state in which the mind and body just clicks, creating optimal performance. Like any user group, dancers has a unique set of skills, needs, goals, and emotions. Most UX design models for online applications focus on verbal, graphic, and text-based communication, while dance is about creating and communicating meaning through bodily movement. The cultural assumptions, beliefs, and expectations that inform a dancer's experience whilst using an interactive system cannot be ignored.
Is that the one that you want? Because you made that not move in the last week.
That's the one. I'll leave that up for the book. Okay. The creation of mashup realities took place in Melbourne, Australia. The initial studio work primary purpose was to observe and outline for a design criteria as a guide for further development. Working directly with dancers and a choreographer, utilising a participatory design approach, allowed me to observe and experience aspects of bodily movement in an interactive system. The first stage of the project laid the foundation of how the choreographer, seated and drumming, and the designer, myself, will collaborate, and by extension, how we will collaborate with professional dancers. As a device, we employed chance operation as a methodology for performance and designing the interactive environment. From the dynamists Cornelius Cardew, John Cage, and Cunningham, this technique has been used to employ unknown and unpredictable elements to cause an event to have a certain result. In drumming describes the choreography concept engaging in chance operations. Relinquishing control to randomness of the software is an existential approach. Cunningham notes that when I choreograph a piece by tossing pennies by charge tables. I'm finding my resources in the play, which is not the product of my work, but which is an energy and a law which I obey. Indrani continues, unlike many works I've created in the past, this was not an organic journey of emotions, characters, stories, or instinct. We knew we wanted elements of the computer or the software controlling or software taking control and vice versa. And we believed the chance of randomness was an ideal model for a design round. The choreographer's starting point was 4 times 32 count phrases to be formed in a random order, where the computer determined the structure. But the random patch was only triggered by a particular gesture, left hand moving straight up. This gesture interface controlled the visual elements of the space. The public rehearsal was performed to a small audience and lasted 8 minutes. The structure was divided into 3 parts: choreographed introduction with small solo performances, then followed by the chance operation sequence, where the order of phrases were determined by the computer, and the final part had the dancers perform the phrases in unison in a predetermined order to finish the piece. Sita Indrani was not physically present during the studio work or performance, as she is based in London. We linked up with her via Skype. The setup had the camera pointing towards the performance space and the audio running through the speaker system, so Indrani could view the dancers and communicate directly with them. The scenario gave us an interesting insight into non-verbal collaboration, communication and collaboration over the internet, as Indrani notes. There is no substitute for being in the space together. I was aware I was missing moments which might organically grow, take us in other directions, unspoken vibes, all the reasons we congregated in the rehearsal space in the first place. However, Chris and I had a strong working language, and the dancers were very open with suggestions and feedback, which allowed the collaboration to move forward. Working with the dancers and the choreographer during the early stage of developing the interactive environments program, I discovered new opportunities to refine the process that I would not have contemplated alone. From my professional experience as a digital media designer, understanding the user is a key to building successful online media systems. A great deal of research has gone into investigating the software and technology that best suit the project's requirements. We needed hardware to sense and capture movement, software to translate emotion into data, and additional software to control or manipulate the environment, both visual and audio. Our criteria was to find hardware which was cost-effective and accessible and easy to set up. In addition, it should be utilising high-quality, low-bandwidth streaming technology to address the slower internet speeds of remote Australia. Design context discovery is an important role in UX design. Contextual design elements such as technology and resources provide limits and constraints, which contributes to successful outcomes. After a rigorous testing period and investigating similar projects, we decided on a combination of technologies and programming frameworks, which include the Connect Sensor, Max MSP, Jitter, and Quartz Composer. The Connect Sensor is a reasonably accurate motion sensor with a range of about 5 meters and is cost-effective and simple to set up. The Synapse and Max software provided joint positions and hit events via open sound control, a protocol for low bandwidth communication over networks. From the studio work, we identified several aspects that were relevant to the user experience. Also, there are considerations which need to be addressed. Based on these aspects, we deduced the beginning of a design criteria for the movement-based interaction. As the project continues, the criteria will grow and refine. These aspects are supporting non-verbal online communication and collaboration, supporting flow experience, three-dimension interactive space, both physical and virtual, cost-effective, accessible and easy to set up technologies, low bandwidth streaming technologies, gesture interface controlling visual and audio outputs, and real-time feedback. The considerations are addressing slow internet speeds, delays, tolerance of error, and loss of quality of movement. We are currently developing the next stage. We are currently developing the next stage of the project, investigating the Connect sensor with a HTML5 and JavaScript framework, which allow users to interact with others over the internet via a purpose-built website. The website's primary purpose is for data collection. The site will include functionality, which will be change of POV, point of view, recording motion, playback motion, pause, and share movement. Users will be invited to complete tasks as a user group testing method. These tasks could include offering the user to record and share a 32 count phrase as an example. They could teach another user in another location a 32 count phrase, or even choreograph a 32 count phrase with another user who's located somewhere else. The system will collect data which will help the further development of the system. Some of the questions that could be addressed is how long it took to complete a task. Was the task completed successfully? If not, at what point did it fail? What functionality was engaged to complete the task, including the user and including the user's own personal feedback. This data will inform and shape the further developments. Okay, in conclusion, the intention of my research is to provide artists in remote Australia with a set of tools that will enhance the ability to collaborate online, assist the creation of interactive works, and promote further development of performance in regional Australia. By connecting to the outside world, it allows the outside world to view the value of the community. By bringing the outside world into these communities, it allows the people to feel a sense of pride and importance in their cultural contexts.